Hey guys, sorry about the poor audio on this one, but try giving it a listen. Ari and I think that this is maybe our favourite podcast that we've done. At least it was the most fun to talk about. So yeah, try giving it a listen. But next week, audio should be back to normal. Thanks.
My name is Carl,
My name is Adi.
and this is Great Expectations. Welcome to Great Expectations, the movie review podcast where we talk about what we expected and what we got, and we do not stay on topic. Today we are talking about Resident Evil
6? 7?
6, I think.
The final chapter.
Woo!
Yay.
Yeah. But is it really? Huh? Who knows? Man, you've seen all of these, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Don't-
What do you think the best one is?
Best one.
The first one?
The first one's probably the best, but my favourite is the third one where they just go all out apocalypse. It's like, fuck it, we'll just destroy the whole world, and we've been in a desert, and we'll just... I don't know, I like that one.
Yeah. Having recently just rewatched all of them in preparation specifically for this review. It's because I care for our
Time
listeners.
well spent.
It's because I care for our listeners. I did it for nobody but them. Selflessly, I sacrificed my time. Yeah, I thought the first one, but rewatching Afterlife again and remembering seeing that in the cinema, I thought it was pretty fun. That's the one where like the beginning is like all of Alice's clones like siege onto that thing, and it's like the action's fun, and then there's the big guy with the axe.
They're on a boat?
They're on a boat at the end. It's on Wentworth Miller.
Mm.
Yeah, it's funny because it's like even this film is like still not a very good film, but
Yeah.
like for a Resident Evil film,
It's a good Resident Evil
it's
film,
kind of
yeah.
it's a fun
One
Resident
of the
Evil
best
film.
for sure.
But it's like this film's like average kind of like reaches like what, like a 5.5 or a 6 out of 10.
Yeah,
Like
if that.
yeah, but I mean like Resident Evil Retribution, which was the one before this, is so terrible.
Pile of shit, yeah.
As
Were
is-
they like stuck underground? They had to fight through like 12 levels, like a video game or some shit.
Yeah.
That was fucking. I was
And
like, I
everybody-
was like, are they even trying anymore? This is just like ridiculous. What are they doing?
And Resident Evil Apocalypse. Oof. The one you
What's
like
that
is
one?
Extinction.
Yeah, Extinction.
Which makes no sense because it's
Yeah.
like the apocalyptic one
Yeah.
is called Extinction.
So the apocalypse is starting in Apocalypse.
As far as I can tell, the only ones that make sense title-wise are the first Resident Evil just being called Resident Evil, and this last one called The Final Chapter.
Even though it's probably not the final chapter.
Yeah, I think we're
Especially the way they ended it. They should have just killed off the main chick like they were hinting at for ages.
Just-
Like, it's probably gonna kill you. And she's like, yes, I'm gonna die. And you think she's gonna
So
die.
why didn't you die?
Just leave it open for sequels.
Everything's very convenient. That's why I didn't die.
And like, I didn't think she had the virus in her anymore because she didn't have superpowers. I thought in like Afterlife that when she was fighting the dude with the glasses that he like injected her with something and then she didn't have powers anymore.
Yeah, so she lost the super. Remember how she used to have telekinesis?
Yeah, she used to be able to do heaps of shit.
Yeah, so she lost all of that because
But she still had the virus. And
Yeah.
What's the fucking point?
Yeah, the film's continuities are just like because
Yeah.
this film's beginning, I swear, erases a ton of stuff that we'll talk about
Yeah.
when that comes
Even
to
from
be.
the last movie, even the big fight, they just sort of skipped.
Yeah.
It was like, fuck it, we don't have the budget.
It's funny because you were talking about like how these films are so successful and stuff, but like still profitable. So the most successful one is Afterlife, which
that
was the
previous
third
one?
last one,
Oh, third last.
and then the second
Okay.
one is the last one,
So, wait, so what is the second last one called?
Retribution.
Okay.
So this is the order that they go in: Resident Evil, Resident Evil Apocalypse, Resident Evil Extinction, Resident Evil Afterlife, Resident Evil Retribution, Resident Evil The Final Chapter.
Okay.
And the one before this, Retribution, made $240 million,
Fuck me.
and then Afterlife made $296 million.
It's insane.
And after this film comes out, it's going to be $1 billion franchise.
Is it really big in China or something?
Well, I mean, they opened up in Tokyo and China first in mid-December, which was over a month ago. So that must be a big place for them. The film's already made nearly $40 million as of opening weekend, just internationally. So.
I'd make them if they were that successful. I'd keep making them too.
Yeah. And before I get into this,
there's no way this is the last one if that's successful.
Well, I mean, like, according to rumors and things like that, there is a television show, perhaps.
Oh, the main chick, or
I don't know. Do you reckon not Ruby Rose? Do you reckon Mila Jovovich is gonna fall to television show?
It's not like she's falling far, is she? Falling from Resident Evil.
Oh, she's
movies.
really not. Hey, like
she's been in the Fifth Element.
Yeah, Fifth Element.
Fifth Element and Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Don't know from anything else.
I'm trying to think of it. And just any of her husband's other films. So
I don't think she's even in any
The
other
Three
ones.
Musketeers.
Was she in that?
Yeah.
That was a bad movie, but
Yeah. Can you remember how good the cast of that film is? It's like Christoph Waltz, Mads Mikkelsen, Orlando Bloom, Mila Jovovich, and like I'm pretty sure the Three Musketeers are like famous. Logan Lerman was in it. He's like so like, man, what a it's like a Daft Punk
story.
like
it's a classic fucking story as well.
Yeah.
And he just fucked it.
Man, it's like he skimmed through.
Oh, but the book is really long, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But granted, I feel like he also only played like the first like 6-7 minutes of a Resident Evil game and was like, I can make a movie out of this.
And I just added a new character in.
Yeah.
Like the main character isn't usually a chick as well, so I don't know why he didn't just make Mila Jovovich the main chick.
So because isn't it Jill Valentine?
And she's in the movie.
And she's in
like
two of the films.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was even in the last one, and they never
was she?
ignored. Yeah.
Who was she?
She was like the bad guy, and then at the end they took away the spider from her chest, and she became good again.
Oh, you mean in Retribution?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then she even went to the White House with them, and then they never acknowledged her. Like, so like she was in the White House at the end of the last film with Mila Jovovich. Mila Jovovich's like clone daughter.
Oh.
And one of the other.
I remember something about a daughter. So she.
They're all
dead, aren't they? They just all died, and she just didn't care.
And nobody acknowledges this shit.
I mean, most people would be like me and would just forget that happened.
Yeah. Do you reckon the writers forgot? Like, do you reckon when they sit down 2 years later, they haven't watched the last one, they just sit down and start writing it out?
Probably.
They're all
like, so what happened at the end of the last movie? They were at the White House, they were getting attacked. Yeah. Okay, let's start from 3 weeks after that. Apparently it was 3 weeks after.
Yeah. It's like, because even at the end of that film, it was like, twist, the guy with the glasses turns out needs your help to fight this war at the White House. And then at the beginning of this movie, they were like, no, that wasn't his plan. But he ended up betraying her. And it was like, no, I mean, obviously you couldn't think of like a fitting way to get yourself out of like the cliffhanger you put yourself into.
And he was barely in it as well. He's got like really good fucking superpowers, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And like he didn't use them once.
Yeah.
He just sort of walked around and then he stood near a door at the end and then the machine just went and chopped off his leg and he still couldn't do anything. He just lay there and died.
It's like, as far as I'm concerned, he's like the big bad out of all the films.
He's a big bad character
and he
in
has
the games
the
as well.
lamest death in this whole movie that's so unsatisfying. And he does shit all.
You're fired.
Yeah. No. Before we jump into our expectations, have you heard about all of the problems this movie had while filming?
No.
This is gonna make it very depressing.
Oh, yeah.
Alright. So during filming, Jovovich's stunt double, Olivia Jackson, was severely injured when her motorcycle collided with a camera crane, leaving her in a medically induced coma for 2 weeks. Among her injuries was cerebral trauma, a crushed face, a severed artery in her neck, a paralyzed arm, severed artery in her neck, a paralyzed arm, several broken ribs, a shattered scapula, a broken clavicle, torn fingers with a thumb that needed to be amputated.
Oh, man, she got fucked up.
And 5 nerves torn out of her spinal cord.
Ugh.
Jackson announced in December 2015 that her paralyzed left arm will be amputated. A second accident occurred during the filming on December 3rd when camera crew member was crushed to death by one of the film's props, a US Army issue Hummer, whilst on set filming. Crushed by a Hummer.
If you're gonna die in a movie, you do not want to die in Resident Evil, do you?
Yep.
It's depressing.
Yeah, it is. So, 2 people, one died and the other one's life was severely ruined.
That description reminded me of this thing I read about a little while ago. It's fucking gnarly. So, this chick had a pet chimpanzee, had it for years. It was lovely by all means for ages. And then one day, it just went mental and attacked this chick. It fucking ripped her face off and bit her fucking hands off.
Ugh.
It was the most horrific fucking thing I've ever read. And you see a picture of her, and she looks fucked. She had to get a full face transplant. It was fucked. Fucking bit her hands off. And the owner of the chimpanzee, who treated it like a child,
yeah.
with diapers on it, and it was a lovely chimpanzee, fucking called up the 911 and was like, "It's eating her!" It was fucking eating her. And she had to just shoot it. And apparently she was like, he turned to me and looked at me and was like, "Mum, what have you done?" I was like, fuck me. That's why I'm scared of monkeys. And why Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is fucking fucked, because it's gonna happen.
Maybe it'll happen to Woody Harrelson in this new one.
Chimpanzees are fucked, man. Monkeys are fucking hectic. They're so strong.
Yeah.
With the bone structure, they're just... because they don't have to walk upright. They can just fucking be powerful motherfuckers.
They're strong.
Chimpanzees can be this fucking big off the couch.
Yeah.
And they can still fucking murder you easy.
Yeah.
And they're still probably stronger than you.
Oh, for sure. Everything's stronger than me.
But even stronger than Max, probably.
Yeah.
Chimpanzee. Humans are...
And that's just naturally. It's not like the chimpanzee had to work out to
Fuck, chimpanzees are gnarly.
What were your expectations for this film, Ari?
Negatory piece of shit crap movie.
That's what you thought it was going to be going in?
Yeah, terrible, sure.
Yeah.
It's Resident Evil, man.
Yeah. The bar that I held this film to was that it needed to be better than a 5 out of 10 film, right? It needed to be just a little bit over just being a piece of shit, just being the films were never good, but they're at their best when they're fun or just the action's okay or something like that. I mean, the problem with any of these films is the fact that it's the same thing over and over and over again, and you get bored about halfway through all of them.
Get a cure before?
Sorry?
Have they tried to get a cure before?
Yeah, the second one they've tried to get a cure. The little girl had it in a briefcase.
Oh.
She also disappeared from the franchise.
Oh yeah, and every time they're it worked, but not for ages.
Yeah.
It works for a little bit.
Yeah, and then it was they had it all through Extinction, and then it wasn't good. Yeah, so just
they can keep making more movies. It was fuck it just didn't work this time.
So yeah, low expectations on
What
both
about
of
the plot twist? I was surprised how many plot twists they were.
Yeah,
the twist.
we'll get to them.
Oh
we'll get
God,
to them.
okay, fine,
Save yourself. Don't come too early over Resident Evil. I know you're bursting at the seams to talk about it, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about the. So me and Ari went with Ludi, who is Ari's girlfriend, and she'd never seen one before, and she said, should I have watched any of them leading up to it?
Yeah.
And you'd advised her no, because they're all shit, which is what I would have said. But I leaned over and was like all of them begin with a 5-minute recap of what they've begun with, and this one will probably do that too. And as soon as it began with that voiceover where it was back in the
collaboration.
Ari and I looked at each other, we were yeah, I mean this huge monologue which legit erases everything I can remember about them, specifically because I'm pretty sure this doctor
he was in the third one, wasn't
he was in the third.
he?
He was in the end of the second one, and was the
He's
the bad guy.
Draw of the moment.
Yeah.
Spoiler
And then
alert.
he died at the end of the third one.
But that was a clone.
Yeah, conveniently a clone. But he was never built to be the head of the company.
Yeah, just
And
a
it was-
normal
and it was-
scientist, wasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, and I know in passing in some of the other movies though, the head of the company built the Red Queen around his daughter.
No, but he was in the second one.
Yeah.
He was the guy in the wheelchair, remember?
No, he's not. That's played by
Was
Jared.
he?
That's played by Jared Harris.
Who was the guy in the wheelchair then?
Jared Harris, the father of. So it's all the same, right?
Oh yeah.
This is what makes no sense. Okay, So in the second one, Jared Harris has a daughter that needs to take the fucking antidote to the thing every few hours, and thus has the cure. Yeah, that's not him. It's not played by him. He plays another character, right? Which is this is why it makes no sense. This is why it makes no fucking sense.
Yeah, I thought that girl was the Red Queen.
But here's the thing: it's because if Jared Harris created the virus, right, then that meant that Mila Jovovich coexisted at the same time as her younger self.
Yeah.
Because the Red Queen is Mila Jovovich. So already that makes no sense. Unless, I've totally misinterpreted the second film. It is the worst one out of all of them, I think. I really fucking hate the second one.
So wait, the girl in the second one is the Red Queen?
No, it's not.
It's not?
It's not the Red Queen either. But, if Jared Harris created the virus for the young girl...
Yeah. Are you sure she's not the Red Queen? She's not old Mila Jovovich?
Yeah, I'm sure. But Mila Jovovich goes and tries to save her anyway. That's what makes no sense. Because here's the thing, so it's nothing adds up. Because the main bad guy in this doesn't play the character of the wheelchair person. The only thing that can make sense is the fact that they but that doesn't make any sense either. They recast, because at the beginning of this film, it's the main bad guy isn't even the real father of the Red Queen, right?
He killed the father of the Red Queen.
But that's not what happened to Jared Harris. That other guy killed Jared Harris. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, he wasn't even in a wheelchair in this one.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, this doesn't make sense. We can't try and explain it. They obviously just fucking forgot.
Yeah, it's almost like... They
obviously didn't expect anyone to watch all 5 of them before this one. Because no one cares about these fucking movies, Carl. They're that bad. They're just fucking, no one's gonna notice.
You literally... The only way this film makes sense is if you disregard any of the other ones that have come before it, right? Man,
so maybe the first one even still. Because I thought she got back her memories of before she got knocked out.
Yeah, so they were really cloudy on the fact that in the first one, she gets back her memories of the husband.
Yeah.
But it's
I thought she got back all of them.
Yeah, she only can kind of remember that guy's her husband. Which, did you know that guy is actually played by the bad guy from The Following TV show?
TV show? Oh, The Following?
Yeah.
With James Purifier?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Interesting. But yeah, all she can remember is kind of him. But they never say that she got all of them back.
I always assumed that she did.
Which is weird because it's also they're saying that she's a clone, right? And she was made for...
Yeah,
but she's the security guard, isn't she?
But also, so we've got to talk about the twist now. So, they purposefully released the virus into the world. Why would they also do it in the hive? To kill all their fucking scientists, and why would they send in the clone of the daughter to fix it as well? Yeah. And she was also trying to steal it as well.
Yeah. So she wasn't. This is fuck. This makes sense. All right. So the guy, no, but her husband, was trying to steal it to sell the cure.
I thought they both were.
No, she had no clue about it. She had no clue about it, and he was doing it for her, right? And then at the end, when she's like, I don't want to have anything to do with this, he's like, oh, fuck you then, I'm just going to leave you all to die, right?
Yeah.
This makes no sense. Yeah, go on, take your point then.
I was just going to explain to the audience, so the twist is Umbrella Corporation spread the virus on purpose to combat global warming, because the global warming's happening, and overpopulation's happening, so instead of just fucking using renewable energy, just kill everyone on the planet and start again. Which always makes no sense. In movies like this, when big corporations fuck it, we just gotta just kill everyone instead of just changing policies. That makes no fucking sense.
So it turns out the doctor that turned Alice into into a superhero at the end of the second one, right? turns out he is the main bad guy for this film,
Mm.
who is actually really fucking religious and believes that
only the clone is really religious, which doesn't make sense.
No, because he's there in the board meeting with the Bible and is like Noah's Ark.
Mm.
So that means that this guy but this is the other thing, right?
Yeah, not many scientists are very religious. Like
I was going to say the same thing, because. But another whole thing about this was they were trying to turn other people into other Alices, if that makes sense. They wanted to make more super soldiers like Alice.
Yeah.
Why would they need that?
They're wiping out.
They're wiping out everyone. Oh, that makes no sense. But even more is just like
You've said it also makes no sense so often.
But it also has the movie just like okay. Anyway, look. One of the things is that like
also, why does this virus turn some people into zombies and some people into flying fucking abominations with tail claws and they can massively fly and it's got a human face and giant teeth? What the fuck?
Alright, so this is okay, so in the second one, right?
Yeah.
That the one guy from the first one was taken and turned into
Gollum, the Nemesis.
Turned into the huge big Nemesis, that's it, yeah. Why didn't they call the second one Nemesis?
What, second what?
The second Resident Evil Nemesis, if Nemesis is in it. Why not call it Resident Evil Nemesis?
That makes so much more sense.
No, we'll call it Apocalypse.
Third one should be Apocalypse. Fourth one should be Extinction.
Yeah.
One after that should be Afterlife. This one should be
Final Chapter.
No, it should be Revelations. Then it should be the Final Chapter. You need one more movie to make this make sense, Carl.
Okay. But so the Noah's Ark scenario is they're going to put all of the rich people in this, like
freeze them all,
freeze them and put them into the bunker in the hive, where they've also released the zombie gas to kill everyone.
Yeah,
which could go horribly wrong, right? Wrong for everyone they're trying to save.
It was in a separate section. So, in the first one, they go through the laser bit, and they walk past the computer, and then they get to the science part of the hive. The computer bit in front of the laser bit was a secret elevator to where the frozen ones were.
Oh, there's a secret elevator. And might I say, the biggest cause of for death is that elevator that has no railings is in the middle of a 1,000-story drop that floats in and up super fast.
Also, if all of the rich, famous people in the world are in this fucking bunker, why did they bomb the fucking city that is in the second one? They're like, we'll just bomb it. We'll spread the virus. We'll spread the virus ourselves. We'll bomb it. I hope we don't die. Even in the cut section, you can see it just misses the massive fucking hive. It just misses it.
And even what I don't get is also they explain in the fourth film that the virus is released in Tokyo. Why is it released in Tokyo? It's released. It coincides with the. But here's the whole. Why was that team there to save Alice and that? If the idea was that it would be released, who hired them? They were hired. Oh,
basically, Umbrella Corporation is fucking retarded.
Yeah.
And didn't the Red Queen try to kill Alice about 50,000 times?
Yeah. Because she's got that classic line through all of it. You're all gonna die down here.
And then this one, she just changes her mind.
Yeah, this one she's turns out I'm you, Alice.
Yeah.
And I'm a good guy now. Which is so funny because it's she, in her programming, she can go rogue and tell Alice to come and help. But yet when somebody's shut all the doors so they all die, she's oh, okay. Yeah. You're actively working against Alice while trying to help her.
So fucking...
Alright, let's begin at the beginning of this film.
Okay.
This is where it's going to end up, and it's going to cause even more fucking problems. The beginning of this film...
They skipped the massive fight that they spent the whole movie, the previous one, building up to. They just skip it. In the previous one, the way they ended it was get ready for the next one, because it's going to be really fucking intense.
And it's this big shot of the White House, zombies trying to attack it, flying things in the side. Oh, this is the other thing that I brought up about Nemesis, right?
Yeah.
So, they created Nemesis, and so I can only assume that these flying things and all of the other fucked up things are other people that they tried to like mutate, right? And they've just
Why? They're killing all the people. Why they bother?
Oh, it makes no sense.
And then why in the third one, in the Apocalypse one, why did Jorah the Mormon turn into a giant tentacle monster? Do you remember that?
Oh yeah,
Why?
yeah. He was like, why the clone to? Oh yeah, because he shot himself with his own mutation that Alice had in her, thinking that it would work on him. But here's the thing. It shows that in this film, he also has her mutation, the original one.
And he also has robotness.
Yeah, he also has the same robotness that Alice has.
No, he has like actual robot eyes, remember?
Oh, does he?
Yeah, because remember it goes in and it's like simulation, like 20% chance. And he's like, with some other enhancements. I think he is actually part robot.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. He said, I'm still the original me with a few upgrades, right?
He might not actually be infected. No, because if he was infected, then he'd die when they released antivirus. He's just part robot.
Yeah.
Which is fucking stupid.
Also, this is, to me, at least, this is one of the only things that could make this whole plot make sense. Is that I've believed, well, not believed, but I was like, sure, like, at the beginning of the fourth film, at the end of the third film, Alice finds out there's a ton of clones of her, right? Yeah. At the beginning of the fourth film, they siege on the Tokyo place and they blow it all up, and I can only assume the real Alice died in that, and from then it's a clone. And
no,
if
but
it's
there was never a real Alice, remember? Because she was playing the whole time.
Yeah. But I mean, like,
But remember, she was in the helicopter at the end of that, and she still had her powers, so that was the real one. And then she was fighting Glasses Man, and then she lost her powers.
If she was a clone from the beginning, how did she have a husband?
Exactly. Doesn't make any sense, Carl. It doesn't work.
Oh, man. It's like, this is the first time out of all of the films the screenwriters tried.
It was like,
tried to be clever, tried to be, because it's like, they're aware it's the final one. They don't need to have a big twist, but you kind of feel like 6 films, you should have a revelation, right? So they tried to do it, and it's even like, look, I mean, you're being clever.
It's not like they planned this twist the whole time. They just got to this point, and they were like, we'll just try this, see if it works, but it just doesn't. Yeah. Doesn't fit at all.
Yeah, like, oh man, this... Anyway, look, this... Alright, so it opens with that huge fucking monologue.
She just wakes up.
She just gets out of it, right? She just, like, flips this thing
3 weeks later as well, apparently.
What has she been living on? Where has she been
hiding? As well.
And then it turns out there's a big flying thing, and then we have our first piece of action, which I'm just going to criticize right now. This is some of the worst action of the series, which is bizarre to me because it's the same director as the last two, who actually did some all-right action in the last two ones.
Isn't that the original guy?
Yeah, it is the original guy. So he did the original film, and then Afterlife and Retribution, and this. And I don't know why all of the editing's so choppy, because it's never been that choppy before.
Yeah.
There is like a scene where Alice is versing like a mutation, and she flips out those 2 guns in the dark, and it's like 30 cuts between the guns firing, the lights going off, the guy...
The one with the big teeth.
Yeah, like running at her, and it's like... And
then she like stabs it with a chain somehow, and then runs away, and then it's like cutting it, and it wakes up again, and then she just stabs it. Like, she had a knife that whole time.
They're just like... It's... All of the action is just so incoherent, and the only thing I can think of is because, like, a lot of the film looks okay, right? It doesn't look that cheap, so that must be where they cut corners, right? Because this is the cheapest out of all of them, only $40 million to make.
That's insane.
And like, surely they must have had to be like, look, we can't get a choreographer, we can't reshoot all, like, because usually when they do choppy handheld things, it's to show the fact that they haven't got good choreography, so they can't show it like at full length, if that makes sense. Which is a reason why all of the Taken films are that choppy editing with the handheld, is because of Liam Neeson's like stunts and stuff like that.
Well, he's not good then.
Yeah. Like, I mean, like, he's good at like some of his agile, but I mean that's the reason like all of them are like cut. But yeah. Anyway, so that's like a huge problem of like an action film, right? Is the fact that
What about all the jump scares?
oh man,
Like, literally, she was like, yeah, the first few jump scares got me, but then it was just fucking
so annoying.
non-stop, just happening all the time.
One of the few
I
conflicts.
think I got done once. I don't know.
I got done twice in the beginning
I think
of
it
the
was
film.
the water bit. No, I didn't get the water bit.
The water bit got me. Maybe you were feeling the repercussions of my jump at the water bit.
Yeah.
Because here's something. You're not scaring people if you do a jump scare.
Yeah,
You haven't earned it.
You're just surprised.
You've just surprised someone, and you can do that in a drama, a comedy. You can do it in any other film. If you're quiet and then have a loud noise, people jump. All right.
It's an automatic response.
Yeah.
It's like when you go to punch someone in the face.
Yeah, and they
if they flinch, it's not because they're like scared of you. It's because you almost hit them in the fucking face.
Yeah, it's a natural natural instinct type of thing. You jumped, you got surprised, right? You don't. If people are like, man, it was so scary. I jumped like 30 times. It was like, well, was it scary then, or was like the genuine suspense? Like, this movie holds no suspense. Like, would you want to talk about how the story flows? How does every single fucking scene go?
She gets knocked out and then she wakes up and then she's like somewhere slightly different or the same spot and there's new people there.
Yeah.
Happens about 4 times.
Literally, we find out at the beginning of the film she's got 48 minutes.
No, 48 hours.
48 hours. Yeah, 48 hours to get to the hive and save everything. She's then knocked out 3 times, and by the time she gets, like, 30 minutes has passed in the film, I swear there's only 40 minutes left on her clock.
Yeah.
Like, why even have it at 48 hours?
She gets to the big fucking building and she's like, let's just stay here for a bit and defend it. Then we'll go.
Oh, yeah, she's
The
like...
question, they just go straight to the hive and maybe like half of them wouldn't have died.
Yeah.
Or all of them died, pretty much.
Yeah, well, like, did they end up leaving a ton of survivors at that thing?
I don't know.
Because this is another huge problem with it, is the fact that
What
you
about
don't know who any supporting character is.
What about how one of the dudes was like, we've got old people and children here, they won't last out there, and then they all just fucking died anyway.
Yeah.
What about that one little black kid who was in it for... Does he die? Or she?
Oh, we just never see it.
He was in for... Well, I don't know if it was a girl or baby. Anyway,
Yeah.
they were in it for like in the background in about 3 scenes, and then one scene like murdered like one zombie,
Yeah.
and that's all you see. She's probably fucking dead.
Yeah. Like, none of the characters you actually learn to... Ruby Rose is in this film for a maximum of 5 minutes, and then she dies.
About 3 lines of dialogue.
Yeah.
When she's in the crane, she's like, yeah, I built this crane. My daddy taught me.
Yeah, and then Alice is like, maybe you can make some more repercussions to it, and she gives like a smile. She's like, yeah, maybe I could.
I think that's literally the only thing she says.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think she says anything else.
It's funny because like they get to a... Alright, so this is the plot, right? She goes from... She gets up out of a hole. She finds the Red Queen. The Red Queen goes, oh, you gotta go to here. She drives, knocks herself out in her own car, finds a motorbike, gets knocked out by the motorbike, wakes up in another car with the bad guy, who then throws her outside to jog along the back of the car.
And
She
gets
then
away,
gets the motorbike,
gets to the city, gets knocked out again.
Wakes up with all the new characters, right? They go, hey, we've got to protect this building, and then we're going to go and save the world. They do that, and then they get to the hive, right?
Did she get knocked out again? I think she gets knocked out at least once or twice more.
Probably. But I mean, like, for me, this film, like, is so monotonous the whole way through, and the only time I started being like, alright, this is where the whole film should have been, is like as soon as they get into the hive. That's when I was like, alright, this is where like things like just like the fan vents and things like
What about how like half the zombies are like skeletons, like actual skeletons?
Yeah.
How does that work with zombies? They need at least like a bit of like skin,
flesh,
so you can like say it. It's like it's meant to just be a virus. Like, how does the virus infect the skeleton? It's a skeleton. What's it gonna do?
I know. Is it like somebody that's been do you get infected in these films if you're bitten by a zombie or not?
Yeah, because I remember in the third one there was that Hispanic dude. He got bitten.
Oh yeah,
and so he drove a truck and exploded. Right. Yeah,
that's right. And I think Michelle Rodriguez also gets
first one, yeah.
Yeah, in the first one she gets bitten. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, it looked like...
But they never really talk about in the last 3 movies, do they?
Yeah.
No one gets bitten. Just everyone at this point, everyone's just too good to be bitten.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Dude, let's talk about the fact that they show the bad guy, the old bad guy, one of the clones that's super Christian and everything, is in this truck, right? And the person that's driving the truck is this Asian guy. And he doesn't have any lines of dialogue, but they show his face a lot. Yeah. And then as soon as he gets to do something, he does kung fu. Yeah. Like, it was like, suddenly it's like the one Asian guy in the whole film is a kung fu master.
And like, it's sort of, like, she was like, sort of like being a rival with him.
Yeah.
But at no point did she know that he was driving.
Yeah.
How fuck could she?
Yeah. This is, I don't get that. This was something that bugged me through the whole series about Umbrella's plans, and I guess it's only like this film kind of gives a reason towards it. But it never made sense to me that Umbrella was like anti-life for all of the films, right? They consistently like just kill all the humans. Like in this film, the Red Queen says there's 4,000 people alive in the world.
Yeah, but then. And why are there still, like, humans working for Umbrella?
Yeah.
Like...
Because I don't get, like, why that Asian guy is just, like...
Yeah, and all the people
let's help her.
Yeah. Like...
All of us help
They're paying them lots of money that they're going to go spend.
Yeah, like...
Where?
Another thing is, like, in the third film, when Alice does her recap, they talk about how all of the crops have died. Nothing's grown. The land's dead.
Oh yeah,
the
it affected the world, yeah.
It affected the world. So, like, you can't rebuild anything.
Yeah.
You've actually fucking killed the world.
Yeah. That's why it's called Extinction. Because they killed the fucking
world.
They killed all the fucking plants, yeah.
But there's nothing to rebuild now. Yeah. Like, the whole plan makes no sense. Anyway, look, I'm just gonna... This film's, like, only interesting in The Hive. Which is why, is there anything you want to talk about up until The Hive?
Nah. Dumb dogs. They were pretty dumb. They looked stupid.
Why did they sink?
Just don't know. They're zombies. I
never got that. I was like, why are they all sinking?
I was like, okay, so these dogs are going to start swimming up.
Yeah, and they even cut to a dog that was like beginning to swim up. And then it just started to sink more. And I was like, okay. I'd like to give props to one shot that I thought was actually kind of cool, and it was the big tower
with all the fire
dripping down with all the zombies. I thought that was actually a pretty cool effect.
Yeah, but
I'm surprised at $40 million how good a lot of the landscape shots and everything look.
Yeah,
like, I mean, this film doesn't look as cheap as like the other two films, like before it at least.
Yeah, for sure. The previous one I remember looked like shit.
Yeah, it looked really cheap. And I remember in the fourth film, when she's got the clones, it looks like Adobe split screen, where, like, it really just doesn't look right. Like, you could tell that, like, Mila Jovovich was, like, kind of standing next to nothing, and they had to, like, cut the screen to put in the next Mila Jovovich.
About 20 times as well. About 100 clones.
It was like, it was almost like one person's arm was cut off and put on the other side.
I liked how in that one, how they just introduced that she had shitloads of clones, and at the very start, they killed off all of them.
Oh, it's
but then
so great.
Another thing, if she's actually a clone this whole time, shouldn't every single other clone be just as good as her? So, like, remember how the Christian man opened up a drawer and there was like 3 of her clones' fucking heads?
Yeah.
Shouldn't they all have been as fucking good at fighting and good at action shit? Because they're exactly the fucking same as her.
Yeah.
She's not special anymore. She's not the original.
Yeah.
There's no reason why she should be fucking good at better than them. They should all be just as good as her.
Yeah. Because the only time, so Alice was experimented on at the end of the beginning.
End of the first one.
In the second one, she's experimented on. Yeah, in the second one, she's, like, experimented on. And then in the third one, she's, like, full-on, like, telekinesis and shit like that. But then that's taken away from her at the beginning of the fourth film. Fuck, the series.
There's still some clones out there.
Yeah.
They should all, at this point, be equally fucking badass.
Yeah.
But she's still the best, apparently.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Yeah. Yeah. Man. Anyway, look, we'll just get to the Hive.
Fucking fans, man.
I actually thought that sequence wasn't that bad.
She took about 3 minutes to walk through those fucking fans. For the first time, she was just going through his fans for ages. I was like, how can you show her walkthrough fans for this fucking long?
Yeah.
That was 3 fans.
Yeah.
And why did she take so long as well? She's just walking through fucking fans. While they're like, oh, we have to be careful going through these fans. They weren't moving. Shit takes a fucking bit of time to build up fucking speed. They should have all gone through at once. They just one at a time, really fucking slow.
Yeah.
They deserve to be shot. Ruby Rose deserved to be turned to fucking mincemeat.
Yeah, that's not the scene I'm talking about. I thought when the fans started,
Oh no.
I thought that was a fun sequence.
Just before that.
Sorry?
Before that. when
You
they
thought that was a
walking
good
through.
sequence.
No, it's shit, and they just took fucking ages to walk through.
But you didn't think that was just a fun scene with them all like floating up and like trying to grab onto each other and like Ruby Rose is falling from
It
person to
lasted
person.
about a minute.
Yeah.
And Ruby Rose died.
Yeah.
I was like, who cares? And she was like, oh no, not Ruby Rose.
And
I
I was
knew
like-
in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, this for me at least. I was just like, all right, this is the first minute of the film where I'm like, that was kind of okay, right?
I reckon it's okay. It was pretty shit.
You didn't like that sequence like at all.
Yeah.
I thought that this is something I wanted to compliment the film. Actually, I don't even know if it's a compliment because sometimes it really fucking bugged me. But I kind of liked how fucking loud it was. The film's so loud with every single sound and all of the music.
And you were in a cinema.
Sorry?
Cinemas are loud.
No, but this was like fucking next level loud. Where I was like, because I mean, like, it all depends on sound editing, right?
Mm.
As to how much you're going to like include. Like, I thought like when they would isolate like the rev of like an engine or something was like really fucking good
Okay.
and stuff like that. And when they fired shots and it was like, because I mean, like, it depends the type of like gunshot you use and stuff. I remember distinctively, like the first time I ever watched The Dark Knight, how awesome a gun sounded in that film. Like, I'd never heard them make like a gun sound like that before. Like in all of the other films, it's the same with also a punch in that film where it was like a muffled punch instead of like they'd always do in
I don't
other
remember
films.
seeing any punches.
Don't you? Like every time you punch someone, it was like a really muffled bass like punch instead of in these other films where they really over the top do like the sound of a punch to the point where it sounds not like a real punch or it sounds super fake or it's too quiet.
I didn't notice it at all.
Okay. Well, that was something I appreciated about
Okay.
the film.
Go suck his dick a little bit more, Carl.
Who?
Paul W.S. Anderson.
Yeah. I mean, he probably wasn't even in charge of the sound.
He
You know
probably was.
what? I'm going to look up who did the sound design on this film, and I'm going to give them a specific shout out. Alright, what happens after the fan sequence?
Oh yeah, they go through a vent.
Oh yeah, this is ridiculous. That was absolutely ridiculous.
And one random dude, they never say his name. He's just there because it was in the van or some shit. He falls down the hole, and then the other two, they just fall down the side for some reason. Why
They
fall
all
down the
lead to different areas
Yeah.
for some reason. Like
Why?
I thought I was like, oh okay, this is going to be like a maze, right? And it's going to flip you in like these directions and stuff and
And
put you in.
the same
But they
place.
all just went nowhere.
That one chick went into a glass box.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, this could be interesting.
There was that one black guy who died as soon as he
Yeah.
fell, pretty
Of course
much.
he was gonna die.
Alright, I'm going to give a shout out to Michael Botha as the ADR mixer on this film. Good for you. Good for you.
If you're listening,
Yeah.
Michael.
Which like isn't actually the right thing for me to think, but I guess the sound designer, so John Loranga, good for you, man.
You're
And,
boring people, Carl. This is boring.
And you know what? Good for you, Doobie White.
This is credits, Carl. No one watches the credits.
No, I don't care. I've given 3 people a shout out of the 16 people that worked on the sound.
What about how...
Oh wait, no. Before you move on these events, this is what I don't get.
No, I'm talking about this bit.
Okay.
So, when fucking Claire, she falls out of the vents, and she gets in that glass box, and you go, okay, something might happen here. She might be, like, trapped in here. She's got to, like, fight them. And, like, 10 seconds later, she just breaks out.
Yeah.
And what was the fucking point?
Yeah. I was like, ooh, oh no, she's not.
Yeah.
I'm still curious as to what happened to Wentworth Miller. What happened to her brother?
Didn't he die?
They never say that he died, though.
Didn't he?
He's just not in it anymore. Because after that whole sequence, right?
Thought he died.
Claire's not in that film.
Mm.
So they never acknowledge what happened to Wentworth Miller.
Okay.
You can only assume that everybody on that boat died. Apart
No.
from...
I remember when they first see her, she was like, we were in a helicopter and then crashed, and then I was here.
But you never.
He probably just died in that
But
crash.
you never see in the fucking film.
Oh, they were on the
them
big
getting
boat.
taken away.
Yeah, no, they
Yeah.
went into a helicopter and then it crashed, and then he would have died at that point.
But we never saw them get taken up in a helicopter. No. It's the thing. The fourth film ends. Jill Valentine and a fleet of helicopters coming, and then the beginning of the next one is the reversed the siege on the helicopter of everyone dying in slow motion, and they play it out in full, and you don't see any single character from the fourth film except Alice there. So but this is from the beginning of them falling, so like those four characters had to have died before the siege
on
even
a big
happened.
boat full of like just random people.
Yeah, there were like 3,000 people alive that had been like put into
experimented on. Also, why are they doing this?
Yeah, that was also Umbrella.
It was all Umbrella. It was all Umbrella.
It's like, unless that was also them trying to save another 3,000 people.
Why? They're only saving the rich people. They only want pure people to survive.
I don't know. I just don't know. Like, the only reason they come back to that boat is because they awoke everyone. So, like, what would have happened if they just left everybody there? If Alice hadn't woken them up, maybe they'd all just be alive now. But for some reason, Umbrella comes and kills everyone they tried to take. Anyway, back to this vent thing.
Yeah.
This underground thing that the guy falls to, right? Why is there just a single vent over a huge fucking lake that is specifically programmed to just drop anybody that falls out of it? Like,
very elaborate trap to kill a single person.
An elaborate... Like, the architect must have been like...
Kevin.
You know what? Out of these thousands and thousands of meters of all of the vents, if this one guy falls into this one specific part of the vent...
It was very Star Wars-esque.
He's
very
gonna
Empire Strikes Back up.
He's going to fall to this specific point where I put a specific vent that will fall down in 4 green beeps and then close back up in 4 red beeps.
And then all the people working around him are like, what if there's other people right next to him? And he goes, they just go down and they go into random rooms.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah, it's just like, one can go into a glass case, I guess.
Yeah.
And the other one, they can just fall on an operating table.
Yeah, operating table, and there's a big monster in the room, and we'll just see what happens.
Why should we do this? I don't know. Why
I'm
not?
just a clone, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, man. Oh, fucking
clones.
Fucking rough. Let's get to... Is it Wesker's the guy that has the glasses?
Agent Wesker, yeah.
Yeah.
He's in the games too, man. They ruined him.
Yeah. Oh, man. Anyway, so Agent Wesker decides to wake everybody up, and you're like, who are they waking up? And in this thought, I was genuinely excited.
See who it was.
Genuinely excited to be
I thought that
are they going to wake up Wentworth Miller? Are they going to wake up Jill Val? Are they going to wake up a recurring character that's never ever come back into it?
I thought he was waking up like a big like machine or like another nemesis thing to go fight them.
Yeah.
It was just robot Jorah moment.
I remember really thinking about the fact that when they did that first flashback to the board meeting, being so confused of why they didn't show that one silver chick.
Me too. I was like, who the fuck could she be?
But didn't you? I was like,
it's gotta be someone who's...
I didn't think it was going to be like old Mila Jovovich, but I thought it was going to be. I was like, maybe it's Mila Jovovich. Nah.
Yeah, it just didn't.
And then it happened.
Make sense, yeah.
And I was like,
I think we should have been like, okay, when they're at the start where they go, she has progeria. In about 10 years, she's going to have the body of a 90-year-old.
Yeah.
I think that's the point where she's being like, it's definitely going to be Mila.
Yeah.
Or it's definitely going to be someone in this movie.
But here's the thing, I thought they just fucked up the continuity and they were talking about the other little girl from the second film.
Yeah, that fucking... I thought that... Are you sure the girl from the second one isn't the Red Queen, or who the Red Queen's based on?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Guarantee it's not. But even then it wouldn't make any sense, because that's Jared Harris's character, not the bad guy in this film.
Yeah.
It makes no sense! Man, how awful is the makeup on Mila Kunis, this old age makeup? Yeah. Oh man, it is rough. Oh, it is bad. Oh, it's terrible. I was slightly having like a little bit of fun.
She's meant to look like Adelia Rose.
Yeah.
She doesn't like it at all. She's like a normal lady.
You know what was also ridiculous? Is the bad guy was all like, once they're awoken, I will seize the company, or something like that. And I was like, just kill her. Just kill her right now. no, everybody's asleep. Nobody's going to notice. The only other person around you is Wesker, who's on your side.
Yeah, he's like, I only take my orders from him.
Yeah, and she was like, but you don't own all of the company.
Yeah,
You're fired.
That's so fucked.
I must say, I got a little bit of a chuckle out of that exchange though.
It was like the three bitches.
Oh yeah, that was alright. But like, I actually liked Wesker being like, I should have killed you in Washington. She was like, yeah, I like that.
That was stupid because he was meant to be on the side at that point, wasn't he?
Yeah. How did he fuck up killing her? Because like,
No, they skipped it 3 weeks later,
right?
man.
Oh man, it's totally like. Can you actually imagine if, say, like Game of Thrones ended on a big cliffhanger
before the big fight?
Yeah.
They just show you it's going to happen,
Yeah.
and then next season,
Yeah.
3 weeks later.
Yeah, it's like a writing room of 10 people sat down and were like, do you actually know how to get them out of this situation? Oh, I have no fucking clue, right? But like,
Skip 3 weeks later.
the thing is, like, they didn't even write themselves into that big of a situation. It's almost like they couldn't come up with a solid reason as to why Wesker should be a good guy, so they were like, just erase it.
Just make him betray her.
Yeah. And he also has a really shit death, and it broke my heart because he's been the bad guy since the 3rd film or something like that.
I think it was in the 3rd one. I think it came in the 4th.
No,
Was it?
yeah, no, actually, I think he did come in the 4th.
Mm.
No, he's a hologram in the 3rd. He's a hologram in the 3rd.
He's speaking to the scientist.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure at that point he was like in charge of a scientist.
Yeah, he was in charge.
He's like,
in Tokyo,
you
he was in
blah,
charge.
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay. Like even in the movie they were like, yeah, they're all clones, but they all think I'm me.
Yeah.
So he should still be in charge of the Umbrella Corporation.
Yeah. Man, anyway, so I wanted Wesker to have a. This movie is nowhere near as violent as any of the other ones, like blood and gore wise. This film has very little blood and gore. It's almost like they must have they wanted to make it M for maximum money, but then like they still got the MA rating.
The only sort of thing that happened was Jigo's leg chopped off and they didn't really show it, did they?
No. I don't remember there being, like, the only time there was blood was when Ruby Rose got killed.
So it looked like that much.
No. It was like the fan went red and then it did that supernatural thing where they cut to an inanimate object just getting hit with blood. Man, after like the first few seasons of Supernatural, when Max pointed out to me that they say son of a bitch too many times, he ruined that. And then as soon as I got onto like the fact that every time there was blood, all it did was cut to like a chair getting hit with blood or the wall getting hit with blood, and then like whenever they did the zoom up on somebody's face where it was like every single time. Man,
12 seasons, man.
That's insane that Supernatural's on 12 seasons.
And they don't have any signs of wrapping it up. What are they doing at the moment? Alright, so at the moment, previous episode, the President of the United States had Lucifer in him. Lucifer's back, by the way. And then they kicked him out of Lucifer. Lucifer impregnated the chick.
Okay.
So the Antichrist is probably coming at some point, I guess. And then they got Lucifer out of the president. Then they were in this bunker for ages with the Secret Service. And this one just like, we should just take him out in the garden and shoot them in the head. And the other guy's like, what if they're not working alone? We gotta find out. And they're just like, oh, yeah, okay. Who the fuck's first thing is like, we'll just shoot them in the head. You don't even question them. Just straight up go, you work alone, aren't you? Just fucking murder them.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Back to this film.
We're not talking about Supernatural a bit more. About how ridiculous we got in. They brought God in, God's fucking sister, and they killed Death. They fucking killed Death. He's gone, man.
Hush, child. They don't want the Supernatural review.
No one's watching Supernatural.
How many more seasons do you reckon they could make? Like another 7? I hope they get to
It's gonna
20.
keep
Can you
going.
imagine if they got to
It's
20?
gonna keep going until one of the main characters actually dies.
Yeah.
Like the actor dies, or they just stop making money. It doesn't know what they're gonna do because this thing's pretty fucking successful still.
Because they're literally, now that they've passed 12 seasons, that's like soap opera level.
They've also run out of ideas so long ago.
How many?
I tell you, they brought Hitler in.
No.
They brought fucking Hitler in, Carl. Hitler's soul was put into a fucking bit of amulet, and they put it into this dude, and he was like, yeah, I'm back. And then fucking Dean kills Hitler, and for about 2 episodes he tells everyone he meets, I killed Hitler.
Ugh.
It's fucking atrocious.
Man,
I don't know why I watch it.
They're almost on 266 episodes of Supernatural. No wonder they're almost out of ideas. Can you imagine having to come up with 266 different kinds of villains?
I mean,
Surely they've done
there's
everything.
so many types of monsters, but you just think of just random shit.
But I mean, eventually
they
they
haven't done Griffin Skull.
Ugh.
They
Like,
haven't done
eventually
trolls.
the-
They only have done trolls. They haven't done.
They did shoe fairies or whatever.
Yeah, they did fairies.
Man, fucking Supernatural. Look, anyway, back to Resident Evil.
Okay. We'll go back to Resident Evil. As if they don't do spin-off Supernatural, but in other countries. Like Supernatural Down Under.
Oh, that'd be
And
good.
they go out and hunt fucking bunyips and yowies and shit like that. That'd be a fucking good show.
They officially meet the dingo that ate that girl's baby.
Well, that's not really Supernatural, that's just the fucking dingo that
No,
happened.
it turns out the dingo was possessed by the baby's
Oh, and it gets all
father.
dream-timey. Like,
Aboriginal Dreamtime.
yeah, instead of Bobby, it's an old Aboriginal man. And he's like,
Every time
back
he
in the dream time.
every time he walks on screen, a didgeridoo goes.
And so it's got not a single Australian person in it, so it's all really fucking stereotype, typical. Oh, that'd be so good.
Anyway, this film ends up in a. They
yeah.
end up going to the laser thing from the first film, which I was
They do
genuinely.
that so often, but they've done about 7 of them. There's 6 of them. They've done about 7 of them.
I'm pretty sure they did it in just 1.56.
156.
Yeah.
It feels like they've done it every one.
Yeah. This is where they started doing all of the throwbacks. And they were like,
And flashbacks.
this is
so many
literally
flashbacks.
This is literally the most that you could get out of being like me and having just rewatched all of them is the smallest fucking moments that you can get out of this is being
like how they left the guns.
yeah,
Even I noticed that, but I was like, okay, that's okay.
yeah,
Because they did forget the guns, didn't they?
yeah. And I was like, alright, this is the Red Queen said, oh, and you're all going to die down here, which is super corny, but even I was just like, oh, I'm kind of happy about
But it
that.
doesn't make any sense the way she said it, because she was saying it to one fucking dude.
Yeah.
I guess she also might have included all the frozen
Yeah.
people, but still.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, didn't she said, hey, whatever, you and all those frozen people, and he was like, yeah, and he was like, yeah, you're all gonna die down here, or something like that.
Maybe.
Anyway, they end up in the laser thing, and I was like, yay, lasers. And then she defeats the guy, right?
Gets the fingers chopped off.
Gets her fingers chopped off, which they never really go back to again.
Yeah, they don't show a hand anymore after that. They just, yeah.
Which hand was it? I feel like she might have even been holding the vial at the end that she throws on the ground with the hand that was supposed to have the fingers chopped off.
Might have been.
I think it might have been.
Yeah.
Finally, the whole movie, I was like, how is the really religious clone going to somehow fit back into this?
He did, but.
He did. He came back
Sort
into
of
it.
well.
It
was sort of like, not redemption, it was ironic.
Yeah.
Because he believed he was the real one the whole time.
Yeah.
And then because he'd convinced all of his clones that they are the real one, that's the reason why he got killed.
Yeah.
Irony.
Yeah. Which I was like, I kind of like that.
But when they finally dropped the fucking
Oh,
vial,
yeah.
and
Who catches it to begin with, by the way?
him, the robot evil one.
But she got it from underneath her legs.
Yeah, but he's a robot, so he's really fast. He goes robot, and he stands up normally. He's a fucking fast robot.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I know.
I must say that, the editing of that, mate. I thought that there was another person underneath her that caught it, and then nobody ever came. I was like, so it's just him. Anyway, so he ends up getting murdered by the clone. She drops the vial. What happens?
And then just massive Lord of the Rings end of the movie scene where they all just fucking just go, and they'll just fall over and die. Look like shit.
Yeah.
And then they were like, yeah, so it's not going to spread over the world instantly because of the winds
Yeah.
and because there's no airplanes.
Yeah.
So it's
It'll
going to take a
years.
few years. Until that point, I'm still going to go out and fight the zombies or whatever. So it's definitely going to be another movie, I reckon.
What, unless this movie bombs. I think they were like, this movie is the final chapter. If it's not successful, it's closed. But if it is successful, we can still milk it.
I think was that going to be successful? There was like 3 people in the movie when we saw it.
Oh man, the cinema had like 10 people, I think. So rough for a Friday night at the cinema.
I mean, that is just one sample.
Yeah. You never know.
Could be really popular in China.
It's true.
Probably is.
It's true, it could be. I mean, like, this film, it needs to be at least as successful as I reckon. Like, maybe... I reckon it probably needs to get over, like, 200 million. I mean, that means they still make a dank profit. But whether or not it's worth all of the time and effort...
How much effort they fucking put into it?
I don't know.
I guess the 2 people who died.
Yeah.
Or one person who died and one person who got horrifically maimed.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I also wanted to, like... I also wanted to say, why didn't Claire die? Because she was in... They blew up the hive, right?
Did she get out?
Yeah, she got out because she was sitting across from her at the end and the hologram came
up. Oh,
up.
yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, how did you get out? You decided to stay in the hive, which they blow up, which she blew up.
Did she decide to stay? I
Yeah.
thought she just shot the boyfriend and then left.
No, because she was like, she got punched in the boob too many times by the bad guy and she was like, go get him.
Oh, yeah. Maybe she just crawled out through a different exit. Because she
That's reaching.
She definitely didn't go the same way.
Yeah.
Because Alice went that way and so did evil scientists. They all went the exact... So she must go out some other way.
And then, like, conveniently...
She didn't die.
Alice didn't die.
only the infected parts of her cells died.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it sort of makes sense because it's an antivirus. Like, it's meant to just kill the virus.
Yeah.
But still, the way it just instantly killed everything is meant to be an antivirus. It's not meant to be fucking magic.
So wait, so does that mean... So did Alice blow up all of the people that were hibernating?
Yeah.
What a waste of life.
Yeah.
They didn't do anything.
Yeah, they did, because they were all Umbrella.
But it's worth keeping them alive.
They caused the world to be fucked to end.
Yeah, but they're not going to do it, like, again in their lifetime.
But they've already done it, so they sort of deserve to die.
But here's the thing, right? So Alice... Alright, so at the beginning of the film, there's 4,000 people alive on the surface. During that, a lot of the good civilians died at that tower thing.
About 100 of them.
Yeah, and then also, like, some of the Umbrella people that were still alive died. So it probably evens out to just being a little bit under 4,000 people are alive now, right? It's going to take years for the virus to go around, which means that probably by the end of this, there's going to be, like, near nobody left.
I mean, if they survived 10 years in their settlements, they could probably survive a bit longer with all the zombies, I reckon.
But I mean, like,
you saw their fucking
how many people were hibernating?
Like thousands.
Yeah.
I don't think they were included in the total.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, just like
they're all rich.
But yeah, they're not going to be rich when they wake up, though. They're not going to have any power when they wake up, though.
They probably have all like robot technology and shit.
Like, just
they definitely have a plan
to further human life.
But no,
they need to be alive.
Carl, these people have been planning this so they'd have like fucking like hectic like mech suits. I bet you the next movie, if they did survive, would be they get like robots instead of zombies, and it would turn to whole fucking Westworld bullshit.
No. Look, for all we know, they just started auctioning off tickets, right? Like in 2012 or something.
But they still fucking.
That does so it doesn't even mean they're that bad of people.
They didn't warn anyone.
Sorry,
they didn't warn anyone. They're like, fuck, we'll just let everyone die.
You don't think that like having an extra few
rich
thousand people
do not
alive
deserve to live, Carl.
But they're not rich anymore. That's the thing.
They were, so they're bad people, so they deserve to die.
No, you wouldn't wake up 12,000 people just to further the human race.
Not if they were the rich bastards who fucking destroyed the planet.
How do we know? For all we know, they also did like a lottery thing.
I'm pretty sure
a secret lottery.
Pretty sure most of them were high Umbrella executives. I'm pretty sure they saved mostly the people who invested in Umbrella, and they're all like the people in that boardroom would probably win all their families as well. Fuck their families. I think when the world's almost dead, you need as many humans alive for repopulation as possible. I mean, not really. I mean, like, I don't know how long ago. It was like maybe 10,000 years ago. There was a big volcano, and then there was an estimate between 40 breeding pairs and 10,000 were left of the human race.
Yeah.
That's already happened.
What if out of all the people that are alive, there's only 6 women?
Statistically, it's very improbable.
But I mean, this could be the exception to the statistic.
I mean, you only need 40 breeding pairs, possibly.
But what if there's only 4 women? Right?
Very unlikely. We already see there's 2. There's Alice and there's Claire.
Yeah, they're
That's
both. They're going to get raped.
The whole rest of the planet is only guys. It's so unlikely.
No, there's another 2 women.
Where?
With just the rest of all those guys.
Jill might be alive. And I'm pretty sure there was a blonde chick in one of them.
Yeah, but we can only assume they're all dead if they've given no closure to them in the final chapter of Resident Evil.
If you don't see them die, they're probably not dead, as we know at this point.
That's not true.
Even if you see
We've
them
seen them die and they still come back.
Dead, yeah.
Alright, how did Resident Evil the final chapter meet your expectations?
It was definitely... I'd say it met them.
Yeah.
Terrible expectations, terrible movie.
Yeah, this absolutely was exactly what I was expecting.
It is definitely a lot worse than what Ludi expected. I mean, I warned her. I was like, Ludi wanted to go see a movie that night, and I was like, I'm already going to go see a movie with Carl. Fair warning, it's going to be fucking terrible. And she was like, how bad could it be?
Yeah.
And then she went to see it, and she was like, that's the worst movie I've ever
I like
seen.
the fact that she was like, hey, you want to go on a cute date night? I can't, I'm with Carl tonight.
I mean, we already made the plan.
Yeah. Man, it's like exactly what you'd expect it to be. But she absolutely hated the film as she came out of it.
She said it's the worst movie she's ever seen.
And
I was like, no way, that's the worst movie.
Oh, I mean, like, we came out of it being like, that's not even the worst in the franchise.
Did she go see Independence Day with us?
Yeah, she did.
Well, that must have been worse. She must have just forgot about that.
Yeah. But I mean, like, I'm
that
sure...
was definitely worse.
Yeah. Ludi probably hasn't had to watch as much shit as us. Like,
yeah.
If you're like... I literally only show Max, like, the finest films. Like, I very rarely show him a shit film. Yeah, so he, like...
You take him to see this, he'll just die.
Oh,
for
like, sure.
What's happening?
It's so terrible. Like, he reckons, like, some of, like, just, like, the blandest films that he's watched are just, like, the Marvel films. Like, those are, like, the ones where he's just, like...
He's spoiled.
Yeah, I'm spoiled him.
He's a brat.
Yeah, he's a brat when it comes to films now. Because all I do is just show him good ones. I screen films for him. I'm basically just like, okay, you don't need to watch that. We're going to sit down and watch this really good film.
Oh. You've done him a disservice.
I know.
Because now, when you two move away, which will happen eventually, he's going to go see movies expecting them all to be good. And they'll all be terrible. And you'll ruin his life. You won't be able to watch another movie in his life because you won't be able to trust them.
Yeah, he'll be like, I need Carl to shadow me. Yeah, definitely. What do you reckon? Yeah, where would you rank this with all the others? Do you think
it's definitely not the worst?
Yeah,
which is fucking saying something, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
like,
I'd say it's my third favorite.
Yeah, I'd probably say this is like my third favorite. I can tell you something. I don't think I'm ever going to watch any of these films ever again in my lifetime.
Yeah. It's not something you'd watch again, is it?
Yeah.
Even the first one, which is the best, isn't that good.
Yeah. They're just, all of them are very much the same. I reckon all of them suffer lag after the first, like, 30 minutes of the films. Like, because you're like, well, what more can you do with these? Although this one, I feel like, only got good in the last, like, 20 minutes of the film.
I mean, it got good. It got better. Not good.
What do you think we should pitch? Should we pitch them next?
Right.
Resident Evil? Or should
I
we
have
do
the perfect fucking pitch, right?
Alright, you got the perfect pitch?
So, cut to Alice. 3 weeks later, she wakes up. There's a clone of Wesker. No, or should he be the original? I don't know. No, he's the original. It was the clone who died. That's why he died so crappily, because he was just a clone. And then he injects her. She gets back her powers, Carl. She gets back her superpowers. And then he goes, Alice, you have to help me. Fucking, was it? I don't know. One of your clones has gone rogue. So one of her clones has turned evil, Carl. She has to go fight her own clone. That's why she needs these powers. And Wesker can't fight it by himself.
What if like, because Wesker's always wearing sunglasses, right?
He takes them off, and it's actually her. It's actually a clone of her.
What if he takes them off? Turns out he's got an eye patch.
Oh no! It's
And
Nick
and
Fury.
yeah, and she goes, "What do we need to do?" And he says, "We need to avenge them."
And
Turns
look-
out
look
all
dope
of the
doing it.
Avengers.
Look dope doing it.
We need to Xander Cage them. Xander Cage jumps through, snowboards down
Ugh.
the desert. Snowboards down the desert. He found a
And
way.
then at the end of the desert, it turns into a motorbike. And he transforms into a motorbike, and he goes.
Suddenly, the motorbike flips. His parachute comes out of it.
He's-
The parachute turns into an airplane and lands perfectly next to her.
and then he goes.
And Samuel Jackson goes, "Damn, you look dope while you were doing it."
He goes. I'm Triple X.
I'm sure it's
I ain't no Patriot. I ain't no tyrant. I'm Triple X.
X. I work alone.
And then Ice Cube shows up and says, "Kumquat." But then also, so she has to go fight her evil clone of herself.
Yeah.
Who's holding her clone daughter, who survived the Washington D.C. attacker.
Ooh.
Oh, no. The clone daughter is the one who's turned evil, and she's got Alice's dog, the real fake, the originalish Alice's dog, and she has to go save the dog. Then she gets there, and the dog's actually a zombie dog, and the dog dies, and it turns into John Wick pretty much.
No, it's basically just like Marley and Me, and it's Mila Jovovich enjoying this dog for all of the years of its
Taking
life,
the dog
like,
for walks.
walking it for walks.
And then zombie apocalypse. Yeah, I mean, I liked it better with her powers, to be honest.
Oh yeah, I think that's when it was just kind of like the most just like
Ridiculous.
ludicrous and
Yeah.
fun. Yeah. Anyway, I think I'm trying to look for a good line from the first Resident Evil film to end this on.
You're so evil. I'm just a resident. That's a good quote.
What should I pick? Alrighty. I feel like, do you want to be Spence or Alice?
We're gonna do this every time now.
Nah. Oh, you know what? Yeah. Do you want to be Spence or Alice in this one here?
Spence.
I don't know. I don't even remember.
I don't know if I can get into the role if I don't know who Spence is. Click on the character and it'll show you a picture.
Do you want to just be Alice then? Oh. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you're going to be Spence?
Okay.
Go back from the mic a little bit. So I'll be Alice,
Okay.
as well as also the like the fucking sound effects or whatever, the screen actions.
Okay.
Alrighty, go.
In or out. In or out.
I don't know what we had, but it's over. A female scientist zombie bites Spence.
Oh God.
Spence shoots the scientist, and that fights Spence for the gun.
Back the fuck up.
Spence turns to Alice,
I'm missing you already.
locks Alice, Rain, and Matt inside the folded research lab.
Flooded. Flooded.
Flooded research lab.
There's a big pause after back the fuck off.
Back the fuck up!
That's how you read it. I don't
Anyway.
know if that's happened.
All the details you need to know to like contact us and recommend us stuff is all in the description below, guys. We'll probably be back. We'll review a split, but whoever knows what the fuck's going on with this podcast. Until next time.
Great expectations are our expectations.
Expectations. We're great expectations, and we have great expectations.
Expect our expectations. They're great.
Great.
Pick one of those to be our next catchphrase.
Oh, totally. I was just going to end it on, you're all going to die down here.
I thought you were waiting for me to say something. You looked at me, you paused.
I did. I paused for dramatic
Yeah,
effect.
you paused too long,
Alright, until next time, guys. You're all going to die down here with our great expectations.
Expect to die down here. It's
Great.
great.